Hey, what's poppin', fellas? It's your boy here, and we back, and we have a guest on today. We got the main man, ZeShado. What's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably collab a little bit more, because behind the scenes, we talk about Faye quite a bit, so it's like, it's kind of weird that I don't choose you for collabs more often, but it's also more so that I get the sense you're busy, because you're like just doing way more videos than everyone else.
I mean, that's fair, but I mean, if you invite me, I'll easily try and make the time. For me, it's all about time management. So literally just shoot a message and I'll make the time.
All right, that's awesome to hear. So I feel like you're like the new PM1 kind of, where it's almost like we have to schedule you in advance almost. It's like,
I feel like that was the case for a while at this point.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're just going to be doing a little discussion about this round of SDS. And believe it or not, this is the first time I've actually managed to get to rank one.
Oh,
I've
nice.
I've only been trying actively to get rank one for a couple of seasons now. It's not been that long. Obviously, SDS and SDR have existed for a while now, but I was just like more so coasting. I would do like one or two fights, just maintain like top 1K, and that would be enough for me. Because the rewards really aren't that much better. Hold on, let's see here.
Comparatively between ranks, yeah, no, and I think it's why they want people to play the mode. But I
Right.
feel like in that regard, it kind of desensitizes I can't speak. Well, it doesn't incentivize people to play it as much because if the rewards were way higher, I think
Right.
a lot more people would do it.
Yeah, but not only that too, it's just like people are so mad about the toxicity of the matches themselves. Um so
Oh, I don't blame them for that.
yeah, so like if you're in the 6,000 to 6,499 range, which was where I typically just coast, you just do one fight and the rewards are only like, what is it, four more codes and like two more, or no, 12 more flowers, which I guess that's kind of okay, but
I think the flowers is probably the most notable jump, but
right.
honestly, I think it will mostly just boil down to like relatively speaking, they're going to be about the same, especially if you go to score type rank, I believe it was called, because I'm pretty sure within your score rank, you're easily like uh top 100, 200, even if you don't make it to rank
Right.
like the highest rank.
Yeah, like,
It's just a lot of people they don't go up that high.
yeah, so even if you're in like the tier 20 to tier 21 range in terms of this bracket, that would still safely keep you in top 1K over here. So you didn't really need to put in that much effort. The only real difference, I guess, is the gold trophy. Because I was still getting like silver trophies the whole time anyway. But I mean, there you guys go. So
Yeah,
that
that
per
was my only incentive at least. Like at
yeah,
least cap and then I don't have to worry about it. Kind of like
right.
Loki's whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Pawns of Loki. Yeah,
yeah,
that.
which is going on right now actually. But okay, so anyway, we're just going to quickly break down the teams that I ran for this season. So I mean, Duo Leon has been the bane of everyone's existence. So of course I had a team with him set up on it. Now, surprisingly, I this might be a hot take, but I actually don't think he is necessarily the issue. More so, like the issues that he presents are exemplified right now because the last couple of maps have been so cav dominated, and they also just introduced this unit's refine and remix here, which gives us another way to set up a Pathfinder line. So there's just so many ways to get calves in now that having a guy like this that once the whole goal of trying to stop him is to not get him to initiate on you. But if it's like so easy for him to do that with Pathfinder and like all that stuff, look at this. I have three possible Pathfinder lines, so you can't veto all of them. So it's like he's
Yeah,
gonna get into you.
no matter what, yeah, that's kind of what my worry was when they were remixing Dagger. Even though I don't necessarily agree with the Leon point, it does make sense that like a lot of them are just so easy to get in, especially now that they also keep printing units that allow you to go over trenches. We just got Arlen, we had Igren a couple months ago. What that
Yeah,
was like the beginning of the year, or that was the month out. I forget whenever they drop all these units, but I feel like my biggest issue with Leon is just the lack of counterplay. Because usually when they drop super hyper meta units, at least it doesn't like I feel like there's always some sort of like limitation or cap, even despite how good they are. And if you need to play around them, the tools usually did exist. I feel like we don't have that for Leon. Even if
Yeah,
there's like maybe a couple units that could potentially counter back and kill, I feel like that's also just not very consistent. I've been like in other servers, I've seen people, discuss dropping Valentine Murs PRF entirely for surprise breath just for the res checks, which is insane
yeah,
in my opinion personally. Because like I mean the PRF is good, but if you need to go out of your way to do all that just to potentially counter him, but then that also doesn't change the fact that he has this ungodly annoying button and free sweep. It's
yeah,
really obnoxious.
yeah. I mean, his button is by far the best in the game. It's not even close.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no.
if you line him up with, even if you hit 2 units, that's just so advantageous. It's way stronger than anything else in the game. Like, if you line him up with even 1 unit is already pretty strong. You just end their turn for free. Like, that's a bit much.
I don't personally care for that in terms of game design, but at least
Yeah,
back then with Sather and Promotus, it wasn't so dominant. Even the New Year one, I would still argue wasn't terrible, but it wasn't exactly like the best effect I would have preferred they add to the game. I feel like Leon is just exemplified in what he pretty much does across the board, across pretty much the entirety of the game. I know a lot of people also said that he probably won't be a problem outside of Summoner Duels, but I find that he's just pretty much good everywhere.
yeah, he's good in Eighth Raid's offense. He's good in Arena because he scores high enough for it. He's just good everywhere.
I think he's just the best unit, period.
Yeah, I don't even think anyone is debating that right now. We all pretty much came to the same conclusion. He's number one, and it's by quite a margin.
It's so
No,
annoying.
I
Dude,
think
he's instant ban. Instant ban. I don't even check the rest of the team. They can have literally 4 stars on it. I'm not dealing with him.
okay. I don't go that far. I actually did allow a couple of him to go through because, like I said, I'm more afraid of him when he's backed up by Pathfinder. But like if it's just him, I feel like he's certainly a lot more manageable. So I can like kind of let him get a free pass on that.
See,
But
I don't disagree, but for me, I just do not want to run the risk at all.
yeah,
He used to be how I banned Thor, where every time she showed up, I just banned her.
uh,
But not banning her also inevitably let me lose
yeah.
some of my matches.
I think in our match, I kind of won because Thor was on my team. Like, the stall was really pressuring you.
Yeah, that kind of messed me up a lot. But what I did notice when I was looking back is that the Ivy Byleth matchup was probably the like definitive whatchamacallit. It definitely determined the match at that point, in my opinion. Because at the very least I could have easily just backed up and protect or whatever, but missing the kill by 2 points was not
Yeah.
it was not ideal.
Yeah, it always feels bad when you lose a fight because of like 1 or 2 points of stats. Because, I mean, you could always just get that from merging or doing like some alternate method to get more stats. So it always makes you feel like, oh, if I had a little more investment on this unit, I could have won this fight. And that's never a good feeling.
Yeah, no. But I've always found the Ivy Byleth matchup just so shaky regardless for both of them, honestly. But
Yeah.
I mean, they're both incredible units nonetheless. So I mean, I could only be so mad.
Right. So I believe I do also actually no, I didn't run Byleth this round. I've seen quite a lot of him. He's pretty much the other like premier far save option right now besides Mur. So
Yep.
okay, so I already talked about the Leon team. It's just like a Pathfinder line. We've got Mur there to provide warp bubbles, so I can like kind of stop the enemies from getting the same amount of reach on me. And then we've got Alir, who I can sort of relatively put in front, and he'll be kind of safe. And then I can just use that to queue up my Pathfinder. And then we have Crom for a lot of action economy and cancel control. This team over here was my preferred team, and was this the one I used against you, or what? It was the Ivy one, right?
Yeah, it was the Ivy with Chloe and all that. Yeah, you
Okay.
definitely brought the Thor.
Okay, so yeah, I used this team in our fight with pretty much like a flyer line here. It's like we're giving everyone the charge effect from Chloe, and then I have a couple of units here that can also get buffed by her harmonic skill, like Crom and Ivy. and then we just rush in and pretty much try to clobber the enemies before they can do the same to me. This is like a hyper offense team. There's no defense whatsoever.
Yeah, no, but it works really well because especially Ivy with any sort of charge support, I've always found to be extremely good. Usually because you're not running stall effects and anti-warp effects a
Right.
lot of the time on the same team.
Exactly. Yeah.
So she can easily just play around and just have extremely high threat range.
Yeah, like all of my teams, if you notice, I have Gatekeeper and Myrrh over here on two separate ones, and then I have Thor and Reeve on two separate ones. So I try to have like one counter mobility strat on each team. So either it be stall or warp bubble.
Yeah, no, I dig it a lot.
Yeah, and then Camilla, of course, on this team, also letting me cut DR on every attack. Pretty effective for Ivy, who has the potent ability. She can hit 3 times. So when she's getting Camilla support, that bites pretty hard.
Yeah,
then,
I've always found like the extra attack to be really, really good.
yeah.
I know we've talked about it in DMs too, like a lot of the stat swings and the potent and whatever the case might be.
Uh-huh.
But also, I found that like even going through like miracle far saves, it's always just extra, like an extra layer
Yeah,
of convenience.
exactly. Yeah. So like if you hit them twice and the last hit got them into Miracle, then you get that extra hit. You could just finish them off. And then over here, okay, so this one is pretty much just the green line. Pretty self-explanatory. Dagger is supported with King Freyr, so we're able to get double Pathfinder. I can put Freyr in front pretty safely. Sometimes I can even put Gatekeeper in front safely, but I prefer not to because I don't want to lose my only Canto control.
That makes sense. Usually he's there for cancel control, extra support stats.
Right.
So you never really have him in the front anyway. But no, yeah, no, I ran a similar team with Igren, except I had Byleth and Nino instead of Freyr and Gatekeeper. But I didn't have any no, not harsh command. I didn't have any cancel control. But I did
Yeah,
give her a
that's
harsh
true.
command after our match because I did not want to deal with stall at that
Yeah,
point. And then
yeah.
I almost was never really able to use that team after that point, which kind of sucked.
Oh boy. Yeah, and then basically the idea here is just get Igreen to give a ton of buffs, and then Crom can steal those buffs and go in. And Igreen with the AoE is pretty clutch here, because one of the major weaknesses to Gatekeeper is that he can't really kill anything, but if they're at 1 HP, he can still get a kill there. So he can still contribute offensively a little bit after the AoE, and then we still are getting the double Pathfinder. We've got all this mobility and all these action economy units, so it works out pretty well. This was my preferred team for the run. And then
Yeah, no, I can see why. It's really it's really in your face.
yeah. And then finally, I've got this just like AoE team. Another one set up with the double Pathfinder. So on this one, I've got Dagger supported with Asker. It's not really safe putting Asker in front anymore because he's not the tank that he used to be with all the melt damage effects going around. But I can just like, really, he's just there for the pulsing, so I can get Seliph ready with Blazing Wind, and then with the hit and run and the Canto 2, he can like jump in, kill something, and then get the hell out of the way. And then I just clean him up with Sanaki at the end. So that's
Yeah, no, totally fair.
pretty much the idea with that one. So also, yeah, like Reeve, kind of clutch unit. With the stall and also all the debuffs, he can like help Sanaki do a little bit extra damage. So those were the teams that I ran for this round, and let's just go ahead and take a look at the fight that I had with ZeShado, because I would say like out of all the fights I did, that was definitely the best one.
Hey, you flatter me.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a lot of bullying. A lot of the players I fought were like 4,000 rank or less. So,
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
yeah, we did have a couple of good ones, but I mean, this one felt like the biggest like battle of wits out of all the fights that I did. So,
Yeah, no, I definitely made the mistake of not banning Thor, but
yeah.
I mean, I saw like Leon was just that was my like kryptonite. I had to get rid of that.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I mean, that Leon team that I had was pretty scary. Okay, so I believe you made the first move. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. So I should probably just repo Igren here. I believe that's what I did, and then a lot of it was like drawback and block breaking.
Right. Okay, so we'll just go through the first turn here. We had animations on, did we?
I don't remember. I usually keep them off
Okay,
when I do the matches because I end up recording like the live footage just in case I need to put them in for like some of those videos.
right. Yeah, same here. So, okay, my opening with this team, just have Crom repo Thor once so she can get her Blazing Wind ready on the next turn. I have also Quick Impulse on Chloe so I can just get her AoE ready with the Duo skill. And then I just want to make sure that Camilla is providing the damage reduction cut effect to everybody, and then Ivy is the closest in range to attack something.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I
Okay,
think
so
that was like where I started kind of panicking because I didn't want Gren or Nino getting stalled, but I think
right,
I kind of got into a position where if I don't have them near a far save, they're probably gonna get sniped.
right,
And if I have them near my save, then I'm kind of screwed anyway. So,
yeah. So like Thor was definitely causing a lot of issues for your setup here.
oh yeah, 100%.
All right, so I just go for this duo skill here just to whiff an action and get some setup. And then right there you go in with Nino. So any thought process you want to explain with that?
Yeah, so I was banking initially on you not backing Thor up, but I'm pretty sure you noticed Nino's threat range, which is why
Right.
you had her back up.
Yeah.
So my next best thought was trying to get rid of threat range. And that was probably going to be the best when getting rid of Chloe. So even if I had to sack a Nino, um, I was more confident in getting rid of charge support because that meant I could play a bit more defensively, even if I'm getting stalled.
Right. Now, I also had another thought process with moving Thor back is that I could pop her duo skill to target like almost all of your team. So like just in the event that I need to pop that on the next turn, I had her in a good spot. And then also you didn't have Kanto control, which also I mean maybe not in this particular situation here, but like it kind of made me feel a lot safer about initiating with Ivy and Camilla because I could at least pull them back one space.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one of the bigger things in my opinion. I do not have a lot of cancel control, and I'm glad we got some in the codes.
Right.
Because I'm definitely gonna give it out. But yeah, no, I just did not have a lot of cancel control options. Like outside of like Brave Soren and I think maybe a couple others, one of them definitely being a favorite.
Mm.
I just did not have a lot of options.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Kanto control specifically is a really annoying skill because it's so impactful in SD matches, but it's also so hard to come by. So like the amount of units that you have to give it out to, you're never gonna have it on every like possible thing you want, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it sucks because there's a lot of teams I absolutely would have wanted cancel control on, but
Yeah.
I just do not have the fodder for it.
Like it's so perfect on Dagger now. Like it wasn't before her like remix, but now it's like I want it on her, I want it on Green. Like there's so many units that benefit from it.
I'm just at the very least, I'm glad they put it in the normal pool, but the odds of even just getting a one-off saline like that
Yeah.
is, I mean, it's not exactly high regardless.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. This is also like one of the issues with Summoner Duels. It's like the entry fee, I guess you could say, for entering into the mode itself is just it's so locked behind having the right skills on the right units.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably where like what I think that's why a lot of people don't really like Summoner Duels, which I completely get. Like unlike any other mode where they pretty much just give you all the tools to get going, especially in Aether Raids where they give you 3 offense mythics for each season,
Mm-hmm.
you're pretty much free to do whatever on Aether Raids. You're not even required to run a defense mythic, and you can still win, regardless, which I think is great. I think for Summoner Duels, I think not only do you have to keep up with like ever changing meta, because when the new thing drops, that means pretty much everybody's gonna run it. And if you don't have specific ways of going around that, then that's
Yeah.
a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
But really, I think there are some extremely necessary skills that just aren't easy to come by,
Yeah.
which is also why I like the Divine 5 codes, because I think it has pretty much everything you need to
Yeah.
make a competent SD team.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the level 5 codes, and then if you're giving them out to like rearmed heroes and attuned heroes too, then that gives you a little bit of extra ways to give them out. So I mean, that's my plan. Once I'm able to get like some of the new stuff in the code shop, I'm just gonna immediately give them to some of my arcane and attuned heroes just for safekeeping.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I'm probably just gonna save my codes for now.
Uh huh.
And I mean, maybe if I need it in the future, I'll use it. But otherwise, I mean, I'm definitely gonna be a lot more. Yeah, I'm not gonna be as loosey goosey with it, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So here I popped my duo skill. I believe that removes the Pathfinder support that Dagger has. Is that right?
Yeah, it should. The only one who had it on here should have been Igren because I
Oh.
repoed her out of the way.
Okay. I wasn't actually paying attention, so I didn't like see who you had supported with Dagger because like I was just like playing quickly. But okay, so I Green was the one supported with Dagger. Okay.
Yeah.
And then after I pop Thor, you pop Violet for protection.
Yeah, no, at that point I think I was playing a lot more chicken, so I was trying to get away without giving up zone points. That was like my
Yeah.
biggest issue I had because I had to put Igren in no matter what.
Uh huh.
Otherwise, you could have just played defensively, and then I could not have gotten in whatsoever.
Yeah, and then I go ahead and repo Ivy here, and she can just like hit too many things. So you had to run in at this point, I believe.
Yeah, at this point, I either had to do that or just bank on whatever I could defensively do. But I don't think there was really a lot I could have done at this point without just pure luck, which unfortunately did not work out.
Yeah. Okay, so I get the first turn on the next move, and I just go in and attack Byleth. I had to wait for your duo skill to wear off to get the KO there.
Oh, could you not get in initially?
No, I couldn't. I had to wait.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I don't know how impactful this was, but we're setting up a lot of miasma tiles there. And then you.
Oh, at that point, like I just could not really do anything.
Yeah.
I will say the miasma stuff was it was useful because I couldn't even see threat range.
Oh,
Like it's actually so blinding, dude.
Yeah. No, that's happened to me before too. Like I've seen miasma tiles show up, and I can't tell like where the trenches are anymore. Like it just blocks everything.
Yeah, no, I don't like it at all. See,
Yeah.
I'm hoping they change like some sort of they change around the colors. I don't think they're gonna change around the danger zone, which personally I don't think they should. Mainly because it's been there since day one.
Yeah.
But they need to do something about like how it blends in with everything else.
Yeah, it's just I mean I can get from a visual perspective why they want the miasma and like the flame tiles and stuff to look like this, but it just makes it too hard to see the rest of the map.
Yeah, no, and it's also inconvenient if you just turn off the danger area because then you're putting yourself at even more risk.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look a little better without the danger area on, but I mean it's still like way too obnoxious looking. Okay, so you surrendered
Honestly,
here. Yeah, because
yeah, I think this is where I did.
yeah, I have just more action ability than you for the next turn. So like eventually I'm gonna get in and get some KOs. Yeah, so I mean that was a pretty good fight though. Like up until the point where I was able to KO Byleth with Ivy, I think we were pretty close, like pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, no, I think overall it was a really good match.
Yeah, like I said, I mean this was the best like battle of wits or like war of attrition that I had out of all my matches this round. So yeah, I mean GG, bro. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, you played really well. And it was also my only loss, so
Yeah, I feel like that's the one thing about me. Like, I don't really spend money on the game anymore. I did buy the, what is it? The Binding World? What is it? The Binding World Forma? Or,
yeah, that bond thingy majiggy.
yeah, the one that costs $50 and you can just, like, buy a unit. I did that
Mhm.
twice. So I did it to buy two of the Mythic Dancers. I bought Plumeria and I bought Peony. I guess we could just, like, quickly show them real quick. Yeah, where are they? All right, so here's the Plumeria that I bought. Yeah, because she had Soaring Guidance, so I was like, all right, yeah, I'm definitely going to get that. And then Firestorm Dance. And then here's the Peony that I
nice.
bought. Yeah, so, like, I mean, this is so advantageous to have for Aether Raid's offense, just having that guidance support and the Firestorm Dance. You can put your units wherever the hell you want. It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, no, they do seem really worthwhile. For me, it's kind of like how I view Formas right
Mm-hmm.
now, where it's I'm just gonna grab what I like for the most part because I feel like I don't necessarily need a lot of it, even though they are really good to have around.
Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it for this round of Summoner Duels. So any final thoughts you want to get out there?
Yeah, if you ever run Dagger in Summoner Duels, just give her Harsh Command. Don't be like me.
Yeah. No, that I mean that would be pretty helpful. I think I have drawback on mine. I don't really need harsh command though on this one because I got Freyr. He's got us
Yeah, no,
covered.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I just never found myself using any sort of positional assist with her whatsoever, so
Mm.
it made much more sense to give her something that was a lot more complimentary.
Yeah. A gatekeeper isn't too bad with it either. Because like he doesn't really do any movement assists too often.
Yeah, no, and he comes with it, so it's like
Yeah.
doubly convenient.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's pretty much gonna wrap us up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed our little duel there in Summoner Duels, and also shout outs to me for getting that off the bucket list. Rank 1 in SD. So, of course, I'm sure you guys watching have already done so, but if you haven't for some reason, then definitely subscribe to the homie ZeShado. There's going to be a link to his YouTube channel in the description of this video, so definitely check him out. And this is your boy Tacho signing out, guys, so take care, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.
Peace.